Say the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is budget workshop. Cameron, Chris, do you want to?
Yeah.
Start us?
Well, I'll explain real quick. So this is an updated work template. Had a meeting with, ICE and just went over the, usage of the funds. And so once I got clarification, I was able to expand out. You'll see those, anything marked in orange is attributable to that. What that does is that covers certain expenses throughout the budget, freeing up that money, which otherwise would be covered under the general fund revenue source. But since this is tied exactly to this revenue source, it essentially frees up money. So our ending balance, and I also had to make adjustments for Marshall Keller, our town attorney. He put in for a $400 a month increase in his request to continue services for the town. So I added that in there to make that adjustment. That's reflected in this. And so our current remaining general fund budget is now 44,857 as opposed to, I think, 27,000 that we were working with previously. Also, we had a department meeting and we discussed some various options with the water and sewer funds because they were, after our the council put in their suggested they were over budget and trying to see what we could do. So one of the things that we discussed was we currently have 3 full-time personnel in public works. Previously we had 2 and then we'd have a part-time person. And so I just put this in here. This is just what it could look like to minimize, because the budget right now to maintain 3 people is going to require $7 a month increase to the water fund, or sorry, sewer, to maintain 3 full-time employees. So I'm just putting it in there just for a proposal, I guess we can call it that. This would be a $2 a month increase to the sewer fund. And the 3rd employee would go down to 24 hours a week, which would essentially be 40 hours for 6 months and then 16 hours for 6 months. Or you could play around, have a Mike or whoever. So in the busy season, basically from April 1st through October, they'd be available to work 40 hours a week. And then in the winter time, they would be available to work, less hours, but they would be a full-time status. Again, this is how that would look if we did something like that. That would be a $2 month rate increase to be able to facilitate that within the current confines of the sewer budget. So that's the updates for this purpose so far. I've just what it looks like. It's not in the actual budget. This is just the worksheet.
Then $2 wouldn't be bad because that would make the water bill $90 even instead of 88. Right.
But I know Mike indicated that he would like to be able to have 3 people for, obviously 40 hours a week. And so this still taken from that meeting, that's what I put into this.
Do you have to have 3 during the winter?
Depends on the winter.
Right.
We have a lot of snow on it.
Oh, and also included in this budget currently is a part-time worker for summer help that would be available. So you have 4 in the summertime. It's still also included in the budget.
How much is budgeted for that?
520 hours. So that's what it's only temporary work. So it's not meant to be year round. So 520 hours divided by, however many weeks, depending how many hours you work them.
Well, how much do they make an hour?
15.
16. It'll be 13 weeks, approximately 3 months. at 40 hours a week.
So it's roughly about $8,300, $8,400 in
Yeah.
total salary.
And that's charged all to the general fund. It's not charged to the enterprise funds, the part-time. The cost share for the third public works position currently is set at 25, 25, 25, 25. So 25 out of Parks and Rec, 25 out of streets and alleys, 25 out of water, 25 out of sewer.
Just a suggestion on the. I would rather see that 8320 somehow be applied to. Keep a third employee than hire a fourth summer help, but it's not my department. I just think. That way you're not hiring a part-time and then moving somebody to part-time in the winter. Essentially, at least that covers the guy. Closer to 12 months. I know it ain't a ton of 8320 total.
But see, the problem with that is that then we're subsidizing the water department. Because you have to understand that part-time is being paid out of the general fund. And if this change was made because of the water and sewer being over budget.
No, I understand that.
And
I'm just
so-
saying,
So
we're
I
putting
guess
a
what I'm saying,
part-time guy on in the summer, but then putting a part-time guy into the winter. So I mean,
I guess this is what I was trying to say, maybe I didn't say it right, that they're not directly relatable. So whether we have a part-time person or don't have a part-time person has no bearing on what we do with the third public works employee. As
Yeah.
far as the water and sewer is concerned.
I understand that. I guess my perspective was rather than having a part-time guy in the summer, I'd rather see that be allocated to one individual to keep him employed for the winter. That makes sense.
Have to give a break.
I
Yeah, we-
understand, but I understand that. That's why.
I get what you're saying.
But
I
the
mean-
time they made me part-time is about the time I applied somewhere else.
That's
Does-
my concern.
Has
That's-
anybody talked to
Dude.
him?
I don't know. That was my next statement.
Yeah, and this is just what it would look like,
No,
because I'm trying to,
we're throwing around ideas how
Yeah.
to make a balanced budget.
it's just a starting point, so. We can
But if
go,
you had a town and public works employee that was like, yeah, it's cool with me,
Right.
that would be one
That would be an easy fix.
narrative, but
I mean,
If-
but if it doesn't work for him, then we figure it out.
then, yeah, to do something. But so Hudson, when they raised their utility rates, had a public hearing about that, specifically the public rates, and I thought that was a good model. And I think we should do that. If we need to raise the water or sewer or have it doesn't necessarily have to be a special meeting. I think we should have a public comment section about the utility rates before it's done.
Yes,
technically, we do have that during the third reading public hearing of the budget itself.
But I mean, specifically, this is a public hearing about this specific thing. That it would open transparency so people. That just my 2 cents on that.
Well, what I was
I
trying-
know we do give a public.
What I was trying to do is have a starting point where we could look at a way where we can make things work without having to raise the rates if possible.
all Chris is doing is sort of throwing up options.
Oh, no, I know, and I'm
That's
not,
all.
I'm sorry if I come across complaining. I was just, those were the things. Going through my mind that if we do have to raise rates.
I could try and go rework it with Jordan's suggestion about getting rid of the part-time fourth person.
But-
real quick and see if that would be something that would still fall in the confines of this and wouldn't alter anything. And I could do that right now. It'd take me 3 minutes.
But if we also had a town, a public works employee that would be cool with it.
Do you think
Then that's a great idea.
either of
Yeah,
your
this-
employees
I-
are
this
going
wasn't-
to be
It was,
willing to
I'm
do that?
trying to,
Come up with ideas.
yeah, just to give you a starting point for discussion and ultimately it's not up to me to decide what to do with
It's
it.
based on what you know, how do you feel that would set up?
Also on this, that was in that funding, currently, the third employee gets retirement and stuff, that is also pulled out of there.
That's correct. That's also.
So that money's taken out of it also. And what you're saying is where the silos of money come from, the summer help was coming out of the general fund.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah, okay.
But I mean, what I'm saying is we've got certified trained public
Oh,
works guys.
Oh, I agree.
And, hey, we're gonna cut your hours, how about you kiss my ass? That's exactly what I would say.
I agree.
And you'd be finding a new certified trained guy.
I agree.
That's my concern.
I don't know any of
Chris is
them.
just bringing this up. all the time.
Do you need 4 people in the summertime, Mike?
Hmm.
Do you need 4 people in the summertime?
Not really, I think we can buy it out.
Just with you 3?
I can go rework it, take me 3 minutes and just print off 1 page. If you want me to.
I love the idea of having one.
Let me go rework it real quick. I'll do
I
it.
just want to try to keep,
Yeah, cool. Let me go rework it and then we'll have that so you can see it. And then.
and it may not even do anything
It
anyway.
might, yeah, it might not work, but I
So-
can at least go try and humor you guys while you guys talk. I'll be right back. Oh, yeah.
The third guy usually
by the
cut
way,
is,
because it's very malleable. It's very easy to make one change and everything's linked together, so it's really quick. So anything we come up with today, I can do it real quick and show you what it'll look like almost in real time.
Okay.
the fourth guy in the summer primarily just cuts weeds, right? No more raining we're having this year, that's probably not an issue. But typically, and that's what they do mainly, Mike, is that, when you're having the summer helping, mainly they cut weeds.
That's all.
Yeah,
That's, I mean, we can cut weeds. Mike can cut weeds.
Yeah, I thought maybe Bart would enjoy the time off in winter time.
We might,
Yeah,
but he'd be losing his bennies too during that
he
time.
wouldn't have
Oh,
lost
you
it,
can cut a lot of weeds on it.
Had it done 16 hours.
but he wouldn't have lost the parts. It was gonna stay on.
what was that?
His benefits was gonna stay for Bart in the winter time.
I mean,
That's what I just asked Chris, and he said they wouldn't.
They wouldn't?
No,
How can you reinstate it?
Oh, yeah, he cut it.
well, you can't, Bart would be, the third employee would be moved down to part-time instead of full-time. He's full-time now, and he has everything but
He's good also,
so
yeah.
he gets retirement, vacation,
No,
he gets all the benefits as he should. We got him moved up last year to full-time, cause he was only part-time till last year.
Do we know, Mike, do we know what kind of? If that was something that Bart did,
what's up?
what his current comp time is, that's something we gotta consider too, because if he's got a buttload of comp time that's gonna have to be paid out.
He don't have much.
Okay.
No, he doesn't, he takes his time off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike's the
Now,
one,
Mike left.
Mike's the one that cut the whole wage. So.
I just was thinking if he did go part-time and that was a
Well, I don't
concern
want him
that
to
would
lose
hit
his benefits because he's worked this hard for us.
That's how come I fought hard to get him last year to get.
I don't, that's why I made the comment, how can we try to keep the guy?
Yeah. He don't have any, he usually takes his time. Time off.
I just-
Saw last week off. He took part today off, worked a couple hours.
My concern was as if, you know, he had a bunch of comp time banked and then was no longer a full-time employee, which means you wouldn't receive your benefits. He'd have to be paid out of that comp time.
Correct.
And my first year on the council, I remember how much we paid out in comp time to the prior.
Correct.
It was significant. And that's not really
It goes up.
budgeted for.
Sometimes,
No.
I don't claim it. I don't claim. I don't claim anything.
Salary,
Only thing
salary
I work
people,
for-
Don't get
for
called.
what I'm supposed to. On Weekends I work,
just hourly.
and I
Yeah.
told Mike about that. I said, I don't claim it. He said, when I'm here, I'm just here.
Yeah. Yeah.
They said, why? I said, because it creates too much. Too much, budgetary thing, but money wise.
Yeah.
Because for the tribe, I used to 120 hours every 2 weeks, but I only got paid 80. I never got paid that overtime
Yeah.
for these years.
kind of normal.
Yeah, I mean, when water is,
Yeah.
it's a place to go, you never stop it. We,
Like a officer.
sometimes you're,
Really knows that problem.
sometimes you're called at 1 o'clock in the morning. 20 below, you're out there.
Yeah.
With water.
Then why she-
I
didn't see the one on the senior house, because remember we increased that, I thought that. Yeah, it was, I thought we had maybe too much allocated for it. It was like $10,000 for fines, it was 10,000 here and 10,000 there, and it was like 64.
We trying to.
I saw that. Yeah, the library.
About lights.
I don't know, but.
And pension. Especially that,
I'm gonna have no part-time during the winter.
you got back for it.
I would,
Yes.
There it is.
If he does, that would,
I'm okay with that.
Shut them out.
I mean, if he was, yeah, if he was all for it, I don't know, balances the budget, makes it a win better.
Well, I'll send you this benefits here.
All night.
Not at his age.
Watch a car.
Amy.
Everyone else does it now.
Nope.
God knows we're all are.
Yeah, Mike would say he did. He's not going for 3 more years.
Yeah.
But. Works never. Really sad.
Well, I read based on the year.
Yeah.
Let's see. You don't take it, but what do they do then? My other girls.
I would just sent back. to you.
Supposedly be as a
Oh,
No, I'm not saying do it on him.
stove, we had 2 stoves, a fridge and a. Yeah, might be right. Maybe.
Well, we need to get on them here.
Nice. See, it's so-
Okay. The printer took for a while.
Yeah. They're longer than spreadsheets, bills, so it's a-
That's why you're changing.
Down,
How that-
populates
There's
everything.
3 pages to replace. One's the
the graph.
medical clinic one that has the general fund balance after. all
Well, if we
expenditures.
started it, it'll be
Okay.
when we get it.
Basically, in a nutshell,
Women might be ahead.
by doing this, it didn't change the general fund much.
Mike, what?
As long as it takes to get those things going, I can start. I'm not wanting to surround myself.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
So. Summarize, doing that change that George suggested, doesn't change the general fund. Pretty much a wash. On the water side. The water is 1,650 over budget. And the sewer with the $2 increase is 2,584 over budget. So here's how much the budget is, or how much the expenditures, and that's how much the revenue is, based on the current whatever the rates are. So I guess it's feasible if you can, to balance the two. By making some minor cuts to the water and sewer fund. That if we got rid of the 4th part-time person and kept the 3rd public works position full-time with only a $2 increase. It leaves us only $2,000 short, which is a lot better than it was before. It was around like 8,000 when I first started this.
And that's
So-
something you and I were going over.
Yeah,
And Mike says he can do without that for it first.
so if we can find the cuts to make, then it's feasible to do with the it still will require $2 month rate increase on the waste. That's it. Instead of $7. I believe the water is probably easier to do, because I know in our meeting, Mike said he would be fine with taking the $10,000 for meter repair. Or was it the well line maintenance maybe? Down from 10,000 down to 6,000 where it was the previous year. That would solve the water issue on the water side. If we did that, the wastewater, there's not really a lot to cut. To get 2,500, we could take out, training and take 1,000 from supplies, maybe, or miscellaneous, sorry. And that would get you pretty much there. Some of them overlap, like training. You could probably take 1,000 from training in the sewer fund and just add 1,000 to the training in the water fund. The 2,500, because they do kind of overlap as far as training goes.
Yeah, like in kind, basically.
So we could do that. That would get the sewer fund. I mean, it's close, I guess. Depends what you guys. If this is the route you want to go down, I guess. We can find a way to make it happen.
I just think if we can try our hardest to have no increase to our citizens and try to keep a third guy on. I mean, it might create a tight working budget. And we might eat crow down the road, but
Or I can say, ask Mike, would that third position be more focused on water than sewer, or is it pretty much equal? 'Cause I can rearrange the distribution without changing anything budgetary wise.
if it was 60-40 or
Yeah.
75, whatever.
I can make it 30% water, 20% sewer. That would probably get us there too.
For right now, the water fund, we're estimating proposed 233,000 income. And the expenses 234,650, so yours is 1,600 over. That's all we gotta.
But I remember at our meeting, Mike suggested reducing the well line maintenance and repair from 10,000 down to 6,000, or as previously was the year before. And that would bring us below. And if I made by making
That's $4,000. That would lessen that, so that would offset that.
so it'd be under budget.
It would be under budget.
Then if I changed, 5% of that from sewer to water allocation wise, that would bring them both in balance without having to change anything else.
So that would be my recommendation, but it ain't my department.
Well, that's what we talked about last week.
Yeah, good with that?
Yeah,
So I could, that can work if that's what the council wants to do.
I think that's what I want to do. I can't speak for nobody else, but
Yeah, I want to do that.
But remember, this is still a $2 a month rate increase for the sewer. That I couldn't get rid of. That $2 represents about $6,500. That you'd have to find to replace that $2 rate increase.
We're talking about Bart's position, right?
Yeah,
Try not to talk about names. and
Yeah,
personnel, so.
third person.
The third person, so did the third person, shouldn't he have a bit of say if this is something he wants to do? I know some people really enjoy having that option to be able to be part-time at certain times. I mean, it's just, they like it, they plan on it, they do that.
Yeah.
I just think you know, ask him first. This third person. Whose name shall
But
not
Mike
be
says he
spoken.
can't do without him.
in the winter time.
So it depends on the winter.
Depends on the winter, really.
Well, you'd have flexibility in the winter.
That's what
with
I'm
the hours
saying.
I needed, so.
I would rather say.
You still
budget-
have them in the winter.
That's what I'm saying. I'd rather say budget for that, and then if you sit down and have the conversation with him that
You'd
you
like
wanna
to-
do this, well,
Okay.
then that offsets, maybe
Cover both.
that sewer
both
increase
ways.
or whatever, but if he was able to do that and make it work for his life, then
Well, it's something he wants to do. I mean,
Right.
people would walk because they don't have that anymore.
but I,
It goes both ways,
that's one thing to give it an option, but I'd hate to not budget for him. And then
Yeah, I'd agree.
he say, I'll piss on you if I don't have a
Well,
full-time gig.
Are we trying to keep him on full time? So then you also got, had you put in the number for retirement stuff in there?
It's all- is that about-
All in there?
Yep.
Okay, good. That's what I'll make sure.
Like I said, it's really quick to make the change.
Okay.
I could probably put it on the screen and do it that way too, instead of printing off.
I just feel like that is,
I agree, Jordan. The option is open if we budget it.
Right. Okay, and that's an easy change if we reduce the well line maintenance and repair back down to 6,000 where it was 2 years ago. Pardon?
I asked Jake how he felt.
No, I think we should. I don't think going. Unless he wants to get his hours cut during the winter, I don't think we should force that at all.
And we have a way to
That's
make it
what I'm
happen.
saying.
Yeah.
Well, we found a way to make it happen, I should
Right,
say.
yeah, right.
But we lose that
The,
fourth time, that part timer.
you
He just-
know,
in the
I
summer.
mean, I know from when I've helped out and fill that part-time role to get stuff caught up. I can't speak for you, but I know some of the times they've had a fourth guy. It's a coin flip on if they're gonna actually work. I think the last summer guy was pretty big help, huh?
Kid,
Yeah, he did a lot of time.
But the prior to him, maybe wasn't such great help.
so. Okay, I can
Yeah.
make those change, or we can make those changes. And incorporate that. All you have to do, when we're done with all this, you'll just have to make, I'm just gonna forewarn you. When we get in the second
make a
reading,
motion.
I'm gonna need you to make a
the
motion to
amendments.
incorporate all the changes that we decided on here into the second reading.
Understood.
But I'll have the changes ready, but just so you know, we'll have to make that formally done that way.
And that'll be on Tuesday, right?
Correct. Yeah.
That,
Okay,
that includes a $2 month increase, but put a utility public hearing section in the agenda. Just,
well, at least it's two, not
well,
10.
it's only the second reading.
Yeah,
So we'd have one.
But it wouldn't hurt to have it on this, have an input before we get to the third reading.
I think we
Don't
should
put-
have a
yes.
utility public hearing
I
if
agree.
we're gonna raise rates and let,
Yes.
As part of a regular meeting?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why we couldn't have a separate section on the regular meeting to let people voice their
We can-
concerns.
Yeah, we can just
Hopefully we can allay them.
go into public hearing right out of our meeting
That's
and
what I'm
put
thinking.
it on our schedule and
That way we can
put
get,
it first thing.
we get our butt chewed all at once,
But technically, we're supposed to advertise for a public hearing.
which we
So,
could do if we're doing it in 2 weeks.
Yes, for the third.
The
that'd
third,
be
before the
third
third, before
reading.
the third vote.
I'm
I mean, it's up to.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Agenda setter, but if we had a public hearing before the final reading of the budget, if if we have to raise utilities. I think it would be better for the community.
We can have it our next meeting.
Well, it's a short advertisement.
Okay.
though.
That's where I was getting at.
That's what I picked up on, yeah. But as long as it's before we pass the final, if we have to raise utilities, which it looks like we're gonna have to. As long as there's a public hearing before that happens, same meeting even,
We can make up our mind on that our next council,
yeah.
right?
Yes, sir.
But I think a $2 increase is a lot easier to sell than a $7 increase,
Mhm.
and $2 increase is pretty minor considering
Still less than River Zone.
that's still less than Riverton. I
And
mean, it's
better.
still an increase in general people don't like, but it's not about like or not, it's about explaining why. So
Well, that would be the public hearing
Yeah,
one,
right.
that would give a more relaxed environment for people to question and get their answers. Yep.
That sounds like a tagline for some of these lots. We're cheaper than Riverton,
Yeah, but better.
but better, better but cheaper, better value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I guess I was, go back into is, going through all this, looking through everything. Once I got the clarification for the ICE money that the police department was able to bring in. And this money is gonna be here through Trump's term in 2028. So this is the next couple of years. Not quite enough to be able to spring money to say for long-term for pay raises, because I understand, we've had those meetings where those are forever. You can't reel them back in. What I would like to talk about though is with that ICE funding that I was able to, free up. I would like to ask or look at, is there taking that, and so we're not getting pay raises this year. Every one of our employees is taking, in essence, a pay cut. They're paying more for 1% more of their salaries going towards retirement. And they're also paying increased money for insurance that went up 10%. So that's getting passed on to the employees. So they're actually taking a pay cut. With freeing that up, if we looked at doing a across the board $1 an hour pay raise, that'd be about 2,500 after, FICA and all that stuff, real good. That's about 2,500 per employee. So if we budgeted that, that'd be 30,000 for the employees. So that's a talking point to start off, I guess, that I will throw out there. That's money that's coming in because of the police department's active involvement is why we have that money. And that money's available. And I think, in my opinion, it should be able, since we can't give a pay raise, do something commensurate with that money that's being brought in by the employees, at least give it back to the employees. The equivalent of a pay raise without giving a pay raise.
Something I didn't understand when it was explained to me, that if we give bonus, for the police officers anyway, the bonus doesn't go towards a retirement.
Nope. Nope, it's
Still, it's
absolute-
better than nothing, but it doesn't.
And they pay 60% tax on
No, it comes out as a second check.
it still, you have to pay tax on
You do.
the bonus. It's a tax about
It's taxed, but it's
60%.
taxed at 2,500, and so the taxes on that would be, 18% or 18.
Shit, I've been paying about 47% on a bonus.
Well, if you include it with the actual paycheck, then
Yeah,
that jumps you up to that
right,
tax
do
bracket.
separate.
But if you do it as a separate supplemental bonus check by itself, it's viewed in that lens, so it's only
Interesting.
18%.
Didn't know that.
You need a better accountant.
Yep.
They're giving more to Uncle
But
Sam.
yeah, you're right, it doesn't go towards retirement, it's not part of that.
Well, before, when I was in midstream, my bonus was
Yep.
28 to 33% of my salary.
Yeah,
So now this new company, I don't have that luxury, but I paid a lot of money in taxes that I'd sure like to have.
but if we did that, as I discussed, that would leave about $14,000 left for the budget to be distributed for whatever else, capital projects, whatever, new printer, a new Dodge Ram, I don't.
How about a new Dodge? What do you call it?
$14,000.
Go around the state.
And the last thing I want to point out is that after our projects are coming to a close, so in this next fiscal year, we're gonna have, you go to capital projects, you're gonna see on the bottom, it's broken out. So we have a surplus of 190,661. It's gonna be on the bottom, it'll be on the same 2027 proposed column. It's outlined in a bold rectangle. And it's broken out in general fund balance, total fund balance, and general fund non-capital expense. The general fund non-capital expense at 44,857, that's what I was referring to. Using that for employee bonus, that'll be $14,857. That could be used for literally anything within the budget. The remaining is on the total fund budget, you have to minus that out. Essentially, it's $145,000 that we're going to take in that is not being allocated to projects at this time. And I would like to see that return to savings.
That's a good idea.
That's a necessary idea.
Yep.
So, again, I'm just giving my viewpoint.
Yeah, we gotta have something there in case something happens.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say
We
is,
need to know that.
Yeah.
last 3 years, it's been tough. We got through it. And this is the first year of having a budget where we have options. That's kind of, at this point, it's kind of nice. But I think it sends a message of reconstituting our savings through that. And this does not include anywhere land sales, the vehicle sale when we sell the Charger, all that stuff can be added to the budget into the year if there's things that need to be spent outside of these confines. So this is very, in my opinion, a very good starting point for a small town having financial flexibility.
On the original deal on land sales was to recoup losses spent on this,
Correct.
was the
Yep.
original intent. And I was just reminding everybody that not that you're bound to that in any way, but that would,
Our next council meeting, we're gonna be talking about land sales.
yeah, I was just, while we're doing budget,
Right.
if we have the land sale unexpected revenue, throwing that right back in savings would be the smartest.
So,
thing
and that's
we could
what I was getting at
possibly
is
do.
that that's why you have that 190,000 available, is because I went through our grants and stuff and I closed them out. So I know those numbers are firm. That is what we have. That is what we are going to receive.
Anything
And
additional would be
yes,
butter on our bread.
yeah, but I know that I know
That's concrete.
That's
Land
concrete.
sales.
almost everything in this is 100% concrete at this point. Land sales, obviously not. But what I'm saying
it
is
was-
that $145,000 that we're bringing in, the reason that 190,000 exists is because I did not budget a line item to spend it on yet, because that's up to the council to decide. My suggestion, as I said before, would be to budget, if there's one on here that says savings.
Yeah,
And if we budget into savings, then it's locked into that and not available to be allocated to anything else without a resolution. from council.
I think it should go.
yeah, I
Savings.
think you have the wholehearted support of doing exactly
Stuff we
that.
really need to do.
Yep. I
Again,
mean,
these are
if
just,
something happens, we can come to council and.
these are just my
Something
thoughts and recommendations, so take it as you will. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just,
No, I think, from my perspective, I think, been a little I don't know if lavish is the word, but a little lavish, it would, probably be in the best interest to save.
and what is included in this budget for projects is $10,000 for the rifle range. And there's another $10,000 available for any other projects that come up that require a cash match or anything else. So there still is money in this budget for projects. That's already in this budget.
I don't have no complaints. Other than maybe $2 a month on my sewer, but I could probably make it work.
And then
We're gonna need filing
Would
fee
ya?
for the
Yeah.
asbestos removal of 600 and.
Yep,
is it
and that,
$33?
so, okay, let me backtrack and sum all this up. So if there was a $30,000 bonus to the employees, the remaining monies in this 14,000 would be available to be used for anything. There's 20,000 budget for overall projects, 10,000 was already earmarked basically for the rifle range. That means that we'd still have $24,000 available within this budget to pay for any other projects, whether it be a cash match or something that we just wanted to pay 100% for. That's
Right.
already in there while still saving $145,000.
I think that's a great idea. I like the idea of having this. I mean, every grant is not 100%, right? I mean, most of them, right now it's like 30%, I think is what this last
Right.
immigration grant was. I mean, just being able to have that and knowing that we have that helps us also apply for those grants to be able to get things done, you know?
And having that leeway, and
Uh-huh.
this year, it doesn't mean that we're not gonna still look at other grants to apply for.
Yeah.
But by the time we apply for them and they go into fruition, it's gonna be the next
Next
fiscal
year.
year anyway.
Yeah.
So this is actually the first year we are going to have a clean budget.
Okay, that's
And
fine.
this is what a clean budget looks like. It gives us options and it sets us up for the future of the next year.
Speaking of grants, I think we ought to continue with the water tank.
We are.
Yes.
So that's the next question I need to bring up, at the regular council meeting. But I guess it's kind of tied to budget, so I can still talk about it. So, budgetary wise.
Does it cost money we got a budget for?
Yep.
Then it's budget related.
So my suggestion is we contract with EA directly. We don't have to go out for bid again because they already did that. They already have all the work.
Yeah.
So it's actually cheaper. And they already have all the knowledge and all the information to get us to the next step. And the next funding opportunity will be the next fiscal year with a full rehabilitation of that water tank, which we need to do within a couple of years. So if we stayed with EA, budgetarily wise, it would be cheaper. They already have all the expertise, knowledge and stuff like that. And we don't have to go out through the process.
Well, and there's really no need to go anywhere else, is there?
No,
No.
I mean, that's the point, yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know, I can't make that decision on my own. It
I
requires.
was gonna suggest the same thing that Lisa, that's her name, I believe,
Right.
I
that
think it's Malin. Is it Malin or Malone? I always mess it up.
Now,
Malin.
said
Yeah.
that with the work they've already done, they're prepared to
Go to the next step.
help us find the funding. And I think we should keep doing that.
Yeah.
And so
We don't have water, we don't have a town.
Yeah.
Exactly.
correct.
My
You know,
well's
we-
good.
we bought ourselves a couple of years is what we did with what we had available with the
And knowledge.
and knowledge.
We,
And knowledge, yeah, we gained
yeah,
that.
we
Knowledge is
didn't know we had
priceless.
that crow until we did what we did.
Well, and the wells are in a million times better standpoint than they've ever been, so.
Yeah, Mike doesn't have to get bit by snakes then.
We still have, the replace the water line that was bursting.
That's going into level
And
3.
then well number 6.
Yep. And that's going it's part of our level 3 project, which
Yes.
will be in not this fiscal year that we're budgeting, the
Right.
next one. And that's why I'm excited about this one, seeing what it
Putting a
looks
little
like when we
money
don't have
Right.
all these projects going on, because you finally get a clean look of where we stand, and it's like, okay, this isn't so bad, this is, we're in a good position.
$190,000 we're looking at putting
I don't know
in
if EPA
savings.
approves of it, but you dump
How would
10
that
gallons of diesel down.
look
that
to be
hole.
distributed
It's coming in.
between the different
I'm
funds?
I'm telling you.
So what it will do is it'll go back to water
When they
sewer,
built the new school out here.
mainly water,
I probably.
That's
Um,
where we need it the
I'm
most.
not-
but water sewer is
Probably
embedded to the
70%
general
of
fund
it.
right now. They're doing
That is-
120,000.
Well, that's
Projects
come
going
out.
over budget. So a lot of that's gonna
And the
pay
way
that
you get them
general
when they go
fund
in
as
the
far
hole,
as
you
savings
just dump
breakdown
diesel in
goes.
there, and they're coming out. They do
So
not like it, the
But
whatever.
it'll leave a balance of about
Gasoline won't do it.
$40,000 available to
Diesel will
respond
drive them
from the
out.
water fund reserve specifically just by that.
But when you,
And any
when you,
land sales
when
we
you do
get
that,
will go all into the
be
water.
ready that probably just one isn't coming out.
That makes
I
sense.
guess.
I know that's
If
kind
it's
of-
in the general fund.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
can
but
be
it'll
used-
probably
it
drive
can be used for
quite a
water,
Yes.
but if it's in the
But,
water, it can't
you
be
know,
used
that
for any
diesel sit on
other
the ground,
purposes.
if you put a
That
little-
makes sense
That's
that way.
100% correct.
Oil or something in it when you pour it in, at least you could light
And
it.
so any
on fire.
land sales is gonna be above that
Like a
190.
burning line.
Right.
Anything else we get is gonna be above that. This is baseline.
No,
what we can
or you
expect,
can,
what
Yeah, I
we know.
wouldn't
the
plan
other
on
thing you
doing
don't
that
like
based
is you
on-
can get some of that chunk of sulfur. Then
Great
you-
history.
But I just need to get the clarification on mainly the water sewer, what we're gonna do. I think we got that. And then, the employee aspect of things, I think is, I don't know if council, I never said they agree on that or not. I think you guys.
And we did.
We did have a semi.
Um,
If that we could
It's got a third.
drop
round
that.
drum on it.
the water or the line maintenance from 10 to 6.
Yes.
And transfer that.
And then the proposed.
The water
dollar
maintenance money
rates.
from 10 to 6,000.
But he needs to try to figure out what allocation percent wise, because what do you have it now at 50-50?
No,
No, 25, 25, 25, 25, 4 departments.
Okay, so you'd have to draw one of them back.
So we
Probably
would draw the
4 or
water
5%.
down approximately, we could, I don't have the math in my head. I'm gonna say it's probably 3% to get us on part and transfer the water. That's what I'll have to get with Mike and see exactly what that is. That minimum amount, the transfer from sewer into water to cover, because they do more water work than sewer work, which makes sense. We can do that. I mean, I said 5%, just.
Yeah,
off the top
does
of my
that
head.
help if the other position that's in maintenance doing some of the restructure of it as well?
No, it's much higher paid and it's much different benefits.
Well, I just was wondering if
That one has to be, that one has to have this position. Because you have certain licenses that two of our positions hold with water and sewer, that third position does not.
Right,
To make, if that makes any sense.
I got nothing else.
And then other clarification. What we talked about so far is. 30,000 for employee bonus and then 100, the. Capital projects as a line item for savings.
Yeah.
145,000.
What was that again? I couldn't hear what that was for.
Oh, 30,000 for employee bonus, which should be 2,500 per employee, full-time employee. It's equivalent to $1 an hour pay raise, but we're not giving a pay raise.
Right, right.
And then,
Line item.
line item savings as a line item instead of just leaving the revenue.
The $190,000.
It'd actually be 145,
Oh, 140,
140.
45, yeah. That's what I meant.
And that's gonna be in the administration? Or is that kind of-
As
we're
far as
gonna-
savings,
we're
it'll
gonna
be
put
under
that line
capital, it'll be under capital project savings.
Under the expenditures then?
Yeah, it'll show us an expenditure savings transfer.
What's our percent do we get in the savings account in that now? Or we could-
Oh, it's
what do
down
we
to
get
like
paid?
2.85.
Yeah. Cashing in big time.
It's, I mean, there for a while, I got us up to, what, in 2 years, I got us up to 1.5 million. Therefore, before we had all these projects, and before the interest rates went up, I think we made $200 a month in interest off 1.5 million. And then the interest rates went up, then it was a lot more.
So where in the capital projects expenditures, you said there was 10,000 for the rifle range, what line items?
That's gonna be covered under, where it says, one set optional capital project.
Okay. All right,
Oh, right here.
Yeah. 15,000.
thank you.
And in the future, what the clerk wants to do is she wants to take each line item and have a breakdown within the line item as a bigger packet. Instead of just a line item. So then you look at that line item and see what's the sublines within the subline.
So
Which is
make
more
it
work than I'm
clear.
willing to do.
So it's a-
I just have a really good
I like
memory.
real-
okay,
The only other thing I was gonna mention, and I already talked to you about it, was getting our maintenance vehicles to be able to fuel.
That July 1st, they'll be fueling at the White House station.
Okay.
And they'll have their own keys and to each vehicle, as long as they don't leave them in the terminal like somebody does occasionally.
Would we be able to would we be able to put fuel in equipment? That's during that time. would we be
No,
able to-
it's key to the vehicle.
Cause I don't think it's. I don't
Okay.
think
It's-
it's
the
and
key
it's
is-
not red.
The key is specific to the vehicle it's
Sure.
assigned, basically.
But, just had to ask.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
well, here's the reason he's asking.
Yes.
The reason he's asking that question is that, I mentioned to the council about the Job Corps.
Yeah.
Being able to do the projects on the rifle range for gas. Well,
Gotcha.
okay,
Diesel.
Fuel, I'm sorry, forgive me, I do own a diesel as well, but for fuel. I mean, that's really what they need and also advertising that they did this, so the idea, so the thought was, well, can we
Save $1 a gallon?
save a buck a gallon? Yeah,
If you
basically.
could get a hold of a tank,
Sanson, is that what it's called? Sanson's oil or something like that? They'll deliver-
salmons,
they'll deliver fuel.
call around and get some red fuel delivered.
Mhm.
Red fuel, okay.
Red fuel.
You don't pay a road tax. It's for off-road use
Right.
only.
Okay.
That's what the guys use in their farm tractors, all these graders and everything. But you don't have a tank, so you need to figure out a bulk tank,
Which if you call Samson's, they probably got one.
salmons.
Whatever.
Yeah, if you were buying the fuel from them, they might have a tank you could use and of red dyed fuel, which is illegal for on use of highway. You don't pay no road tax, but it saves a ton of money on dirt work.
Yeah, what is tax on a gallon? Yeah, I don't know, but I know it's gonna be a bunch. Yeah.
Well, I know that currently at the pumps, we're paying about $1, I think $1.08, $1.08 cheaper at state pump than we do at Bassinet.
Okay, all right.
That's for gas, not fuel. I'm sure fuel is even cheaper or even bigger difference.
Okay.
That's about $1 cheaper again running gas for, what are you talking about?
I think we're paying like 352 or 349 was the average, what we're paying for our fuel right now, our gas.
Well, there'll be a lot of coordination with going out with job coordinating for this project anyway, so I'll ask.
Job Corps may have a bulk tank.
And
And if-
they have a bunch of stuff, so.
But if they had a bulk fuel tank, maybe they could set it there and you could call Salmons or just call around to different fuel companies to fill it up.
Yeah.
Save a bunch of money, probably.
Cool. Thanks.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
You gotta follow their rules since they're doing.
Yeah, I think they would want their type of fuel in their vehicles, so, yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
I'm sure they run that in them already.
Oh, why wouldn't they? Besides that, it's.
On everything that's off road.
Yeah. On that note, does that bring it to maybe look at doing that for our own equipment?
Buying our own bulk tank.
Well, and or leasing that bulk tank with it being filled for our own equipment.
We would look at it, but what do we pay at the state prime rate?
Well, you don't get to fill the skid or the road grader at the state, right?
We could,
We could.
yeah, I can get the keys for that too.
I think we should.
I just have to get it for equipment. And I have to get an estimate of how much we're gonna use gallons wise per year, so they know how often to fill. To take on the extra usage.
I
But,
think we should.
cause I mean, they feel like, everything, they fill all their
Yeah,
stuff.
they fill their dump trucks and their blades and.
It's just, yeah, it just has to be per that vehicle. That's all we have to do.
I think we should add the equipment. That's my 2 cents for what it's worth.
Good
Might,
idea.
might only be worth half a cent, but
I didn't think about though, I got the 3 work vehicles, 1 diesel, 2 gas.
How much fuel do we use through the
Patrol, blade.
equipment?
Got 8,000 gallons a year.
I mean,
for,
for the skid steer.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant,
Oh, holy crap, how much dirt they moving over there?
well, they just move it back and forth.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I mean, out of like the grader backhoe.
I don't even know how much that even holds. I don't know how much it takes or uses.
I don't know if it's enough to get too bent out of shape.
I'm guessing a couple 100 gallons a year maximum. I would think it'd be that much.
Couple $100.
Well, no, I mean, usage wise, like, yeah, it's adds up quick.
Oh, the bulk tank, you got condensation, moisture, filters.
Oh, and last thing,
I say to have them filled there if we can.
I like this year in the budget, we're planning for fuel costs to be averaging over $4 a gallon. So if it does drop, we might actually have some savings in our budget, under budget, which is a great place to be, but we're budgeting for it to be high. So all the fuel costs, that's already been put in the budget is, I'm just letting you know that that's accounted for is the higher fuel costs. I think Jordan actually asked about that maybe.
Need the street to open up.
Yeah, we do. I brought this up before about Job Corps, not only with the rifle range, but also with town projects. I mean, that could be another way to free up maybe some major bucks in your budget, And I don't know what the projects are. I don't know what's planned. I don't know what the normal cycle is of things that happen, but they can help with dirt work. They can help with, their equipment that they have is really pretty phenomenal. And even their carpentry section, they're looking for projects as well. So they're going to be, if things go as I hope, then there's a good chance that they're also going to be building shelters, well, places that you shoot from, on the, out of the range. But they're willing to do, I mean, again, for parts, they're willing to do concrete work and build things and do that stuff, but they would do the same thing for the town.
How about fencing?
What's that?
How about fencing?
They might do fencing.
We have a big fencing we need done.
Yeah, we do, yeah. So anyway, I'm just saying that might be, just be thinking about if there's any, it might even be worth, I mean, at some point. We could go up to Job Corps and sit down and talk with them with a list of projects and say, what can you do for us? What can happen? I mean, we could do something like that to really save the town some major bucks, and. Maybe we can keep that
What-
$2 rate for a while.
I wonder if they're training people how to paint.
Yeah, that I don't know. How we-
Mike did get an estimate on painting our old shop. And it came in,
For one, 9,200,
how much?
92.
9,200 down there, 9.
Need the clinic painted too.
Yeah, like painted or sided or do something.
Side is gonna be expensive,
Yeah,
but
that's what I.
painted with a 4-foot wing coat would look pretty nice.
And that's where it's sitting down to see what they could and couldn't do.
Well, and I know that because when I was on the Fremont County Racing Association board, we utilized them. They had a really good instructor at the time. We utilized them to build and resurface our jumps at the motocross track. And it took them a little while to figure it out, but they ended up figuring it out.
Up by the airport. Yeah, okay.
And they come out there and they painted the whole entire fence and helped build the new crow's nest and did a lot of stuff out there.
So. If that's something that we want to do, which I think we should, just let
Mhm.
me know and we can start working the projects. with
You
them.
bet.
So next time since, just so you know, we got approval for the BLM to do the dirt work and changes and things we talked about for modifications for our current rifle range. And so with that, there's gonna be some discussions coming up with the BLM, or not the BLM, but well, yes, them, but also the Job Corps. And so I can certainly broach the subject and they'll probably say, sure, let's sit down and talk about it. So we could do that. So we'll have that project and then the town projects working too. It's coming quick.
Well, I know I had some guys come in and said they helped do the airport up there, all the dirt work before they paved it. And they were so proud of themselves. And I thought that was really cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like I said before, I think I said before, when I was up there just talking to them, the guys that were in the heavy equipment were in this simulator and it was really cute. It's like a big playground toy. I know I come from the Air Force. I know simulators are really huge and they really can make a big difference, but this one really did look like a big playground toy, and with this cute little scoop. And I mean, it was just kind of goofy, but anyway, it gives them the idea on the controls and what to do, things that they need to do. But they need projects, real projects. What we can do for them or help them with some real projects to help them with that, get that confidence,
Yeah.
which we believe that's what education can do for us.
I think that's a good idea.
You okay with that, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I haven't coming up.
Okay.
There's where we at? We talked about we wanted to illuminate our parking lot. Do you think we ought to? Do we want to look at that? I mean, seriously?
So
what?
we got
Lights on our parking lot
we got,
here around town hall.
yeah, we got $5,000 for community projects that we don't have a project assigned for.
I did talk to a company that does that sort of work down plan.
And we can get a quote and see if it meets.
Yeah, they're gonna look at it and throw numbers, see what it would take to illuminate just around here.
They have an electrical department up at Job Corps too,
Yeah,
and these aren't just the guys showing up and then the students showing up and just doing stuff. I mean, they're under the direction of, in this case, it'd be a licensed electrician, I'm sure, master tech electrician, I would think, but I mean, they may be willing to do that as well.
but would we need to buy the lights?
Yes,
That's what I'm getting. These guys sell lights.
okay, correct. Yeah, they would supply the labor and also some of the, I guess, the design work, because you need to have some design work in order to do the project, to kind of see just how things would go together, but yeah, but don't, we have to buy parts and fuel,
Right.
not gas, but fuel,
Whichever fuel they burn,
whichever fuel they burn, yeah.
but that's,
I'll bring that up too.
And just don't forget, we have $5,000 in the budget already for an undefined project for a community project of any kind. I think in years past, we did it for, you put the grill in at the park and the lights there. We've used it for a tree, when you're used to buy trees. So anything like lighting or whatever, that's only $5,000, but that is currently in the budget too. It's just undefined what the project's gonna be. So if we need to go to Wyoming Community Gas meeting, get our check. Whoever's-
I don't know, that sounds like dog park fencing to me, but
I think you should just make it the rest area, because that's where they're all at. You drive by there and everybody's dogs are out there,
oh,
or the Mormon church.
yeah, the Mormon Church backyard, boy,
Yeah.
they're always stopping there. They've got shade there, which is really nice. Some people have put out their lawn chairs.
I totally heard you say a different S word.
What the dogs do there?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
This is what I heard.
No.
I heard a 4-letter word.
but did you walk on this side of where we got here for a dog park to the long skinny one?
Yeah.
Do you think, would you?
Oh, we'd have enough space for one there too. Yeah, again, multiple dog parks.
Why
Okay.
isn't the one next to the rest area with all the grass and the trees?
I don't think they're exclusive. I think, just because of the fast lane traffic, having a dog park in
Well,
this
do you see
corner.
what fast lanes people do? They come here and let them use the town hall's lawn,
Town halls, what?
the lawn. I watched a lady the other day walk her dog over here and let it use it.
Yeah, and that's the idea to capture those people. Here's your dog park, go here. And it'd be like 3 pens, roughly 12 to 15 feet by 20 feet.
I like it because we can, make a $50 fine for failure to pick up dog poop, and when they don't, we'll just fine them.
Cool.
But it's
We get
amazing. I've seen
future
all these rest areas, how they put dog fields at rest areas.
Mhm.
And you see people out there with their little pooper
Well,
scoopers
the
and in a
laws are
sack
fine.
and they pick them up and.
Yeah.
But
That was amazing.
They weren't good for horses in a pinch.
I do agree with Tammy, though, that the amount of use just naturally it gets from travelers that stop at the rest area, that side where if we put up a little pole with a little bags or whatever, like, self pick up poop there.
Yeah.
That'd be one. No, I mean, I understand you more than one, but that would be one location for at least people that have signage to go there as they're coming through town. They stop there.
Well, particularly if they're, relieving their dogs there, I mean, it's the flow, so maybe doing something like, if we had a sign and, the bags available, then that would make a big difference. It really, I mean, having those bags available really is a good thing.
Would you want to fence off like a little bit of that eastern end of it there for that? Or how would you suggest to do that?
Well, I think dogs
Just let them go, okay.
if we had, as long as they're on leash, right? I mean, they could, that's a busy section. I
Right.
put my dog off a leash there. But if you have a pole with, the doggy bags, then, they can they're doing that anyway.
Yep.
The grass.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, so it may not, we don't necessarily need a fence, I don't think,
Right.
in my opinion.
Okay.
This is totally in the concept phase.
we have open range chickens, why not, open range dog park?
We could do that. I'd still like to take you up on that offer, Jake, to go through that section down by you by the trailhead. That would be cool. But yeah. Yeah. Open range dog park. Isn't that depending on the time and, when Jordan's pup jumps the fence, then we kind of have that, don't we?
Well, his gremlin just devises ways to get out.
Yeah.
More so than anything else.
But yeah,
He's an escape.
He's just doing a walkabout. Okay.
checking things out.
I get texts from people when he does get out and they're like, your dog just came through our doggy door. He's in the house.
Yeah.
Did you feed him? He's hungry.
He's just laying down, getting a drink of water and
He'll be coming soon.
just makes himself at home wherever he goes.
He has no.
He's got a
everybody's-
underground shock fence. We have a dog kennel. And we already have the yard fenced. So we got a 8-foot fence inside the backyard. And he's on a cable that strings from one end of the yard to the next. So he can slide, but he still gets out. There's nothing else I can do other than kill the guy. It's about the only option that's left,
Yeah, that's kind of harsh. I'm
No.
sure there's a fine for that somewhere,
Within city limits, I'm sure there is. Kids love him. He drives me nuts.
Yeah, there was a new employee for Riverton. And he's likes to get out and he walks, he hasn't made it all the way to Shoshoni, but he's made it about 8 miles. From he gets out of Blackbridge and then walks towards Shoshoni, and he said for the summer though, he's gonna be walking to Shoshoni and have his wife pick him up on this end.
Do it early in the
I
morning.
haven't seen anybody else walking all that way. I used to see him go for a mile or two hike from Shoshoni. So, walking all the way. He said he loves it out there.
Pretty wide open, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's from Kentucky,
Okay.
so he's used to hills like that's all this wide open space. Anything else that we need to really? Yeah, I'm sure we'll have some other things possibly. Blue Cross and Blue Shield may have some options for us on insurance. We'll see how that develops. Too early to bring it up, other than just maybe. Other than that, I can't think. We got anything else we need to kick around on budget?
I thought it looked pretty reasonable.
It's back in balance. After the first reading.
I figure if we had the new and improved version handy, we could I just make a motion to amend it to match what was resolved at the workshop. Go watch the YouTube video if you want
That's-
to know exactly what it is.
Yeah, I mean, if we do that, cause I'll have that already ready and then. It's a
Yeah.
motion to
Just for
what was
streamline.
agreed upon or council agreed on changes from the first reading that we just talked about.
Yeah.
Into the second reading and then it's good. That way we have
I made a note. To remind me.
of everything.
We're gonna talk about fence also with. Job Corps, right?
Sure.
Or fence.
The airport fence and the one, that's the more important one. The other one is out with, our property on our subdivision to the west next, Burton's.
Moving that where it's
Yeah.
surveyed improper.
Right.
That shouldn't be a real big deal.
No,
I don't know if I was doing it, I'd just lay it all on the ground, yank all the posts and stand it right back up. It ain't moving that far, is it?
That's my thoughts, but I'm not a
10 feet?
fencer either. But that's
Well,
what
there's only about 40 of it that needs to be jaunted back straight. Part of it, in my understanding, with Gore's in that map, is some of it is correctly fenced, but then it jogs over.
And it's sort of, yeah, some of it's really, really close, some of it may be on, but it's sort of just gradually sort of goes out.
Looked pretty straight, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just angled wrong.
You know, I wouldn't have known it if, Jerry wouldn't have pointed it out, but once you stand back and look at it, you can kind of see it's out of.
I don't know what that cost to move it. I know a lot of fencers won't mess with used wire or any of that either.
Maybe that's where the Job Corps could really help us, because they wouldn't care.
Well, if they're
Yeah.
training to be poor goat farmers, they're gonna learn real quick how to use old recycled material to build a fence.
You know, we may have a little money to deal for them on that too, or whatever, but we shouldn't have almost no materials. We should be able to
Clips.
reuse that.
Bunch of clips.
Yep.
I mean, if it's angled wrong, it should. Maybe if you might need some T-posts,
Is it-
that may not survive
But it's like at the end, it's like 13 foot off, I think. Something like that, clear at the west end.
Okay, so, all right, so where it starts is fine, it just angles the wrong.
Yes,
they had the wrong. And the survey was in the wrong spot on one end, it was right on the other.
Project, okay. So that would need to be surveyed first.
It already is, Apex resurveyed
Yes.
that
Okay, when they were.
with the subdivision and all that, and that's how we found out it was off.
Oh, okay.
And then the landowner, I mean, it could have been a fight, I guess. The landowner said, well, if you want it in the right spot, we'll put it in the right spot. And I don't blame him there.
Yeah, I can say that too, get it right.
that's what we,
Yeah,
that's exactly what we wanted to do, and then if that town put it in there, I found all the documentation.
the town put it in the wrong spot off of a incorrect survey.
Yes,
So Apex drove the survey stake in the right spot, so
yeah,
it wouldn't be a real big deal.
but that was part of the deal to get the easement for the road. To put the
Right.
fence in. Yeah. So. Fencing in.
The airport fencing, is that gonna be from California Street all the way out?
No, the fence, well, yeah,
The
it's,
airport fence.
well, it's. There's. Yeah, California Street goes all the way out there, I was like,
Yeah.
but pretty, they goes. I forget exactly where it starts. It's got some fencing that's good. I forget how many feet of fencing it is. I think there may be some that's good, maybe none of it is. But it goes along that whole side. And YDOT's sort of been letting us. You know, you
Well,
guys
as far
really
as,
ought to do it, but they haven't made us-
Mushroom,
Mushroom
their
Park.
property.
Yes,
That's that part that go, cause that fence is good along Mushroom.
Mushroom
fence is
Park
up here.
fence is good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This part of it.
it's just where the school.
A part of it.
We'd have to see, I don't know exactly what we're talking about, so I'd like
You
to,
want to drive out with me when this gets over?
It's just right off, you're right, it's right off of California West.
it's the west going,
Yes.
Yes.
right where the road goes in, it's right,
Yep.
one just to the south of that.
Yep.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I know where that's at.
Okay,
We had a estimate turned in and approved and budgeted.
And I
They-
think.
They never showed up.
I think he decided he's a little
He-
underbidded.
he bid too cheap. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe he got busy and had bigger bids.
Yeah, making more money elsewhere. He never even gave us a call.
Yeah, that's.
But he was. You know,
Is that,
he was several $1,000s less than the next guy, I think.
with that not being used, is that going, are we keeping that budgeted
I don't know.
on that fence deal
Sorry,
for
what?
the airport?
Did you roll that budget over? We never.
Oh, we
spent-
use that for other
That's what I
stuff.
thought.
We used it for what?
Well, between the flagpole and
Okay,
the,
so it's a project.
It was
Yeah.
capital projects.
it was just one of the projects was more than we originally budgeted, so it was able to absorb that into it. Since it wasn't being used, so we didn't have to increase it.
Just can't let it sit there.
But all the,
Project when there's needs, you know.
Exactly.
all the maintenance guys, when I've talked to them, with Mike, have all said that if we bought the stuff to do that, they would work on it as they could. It may not get done in a month, it may take 6, but they would work on it as time permitted. And they're
Oh, you have the
all content. with doing
attachment
it.
too on the auger.
They said they could run the post.
Well, wouldn't it be key posts?
Yeah,
Oh.
they said they could run all the posts in and then start working on.
I don't know, we want a skid steer attachment for a
No,
T
They do,
post counter.
they do have one for a skid.
They make them, if that's
Yeah.
what, yeah, but I'm saying I don't think we want to buy one.
no.
That wouldn't be
They don't use
economically
them now.
viable.
No.
No, I know they make them and they're
Yeah.
bad. They're really awesome.
They're
You could
sweet.
rent one.
Yeah. Maybe
You
that'd
can
be
rent
cool.
it.
Boom, it's done.
And they make little, I borrowed one that it's like a Yamaha or Honda or something. It's like this big and pull cord was about that long and you could just right through sandstone run a T post.
T-post.
This is awesome. They're like, I think $3,000 or $4,000 for the
Yeah,
good
but-
ones.
Would that be worth it for any post?
It depends. I mean, like you go right over there, most of what. Yeah, it's sand and muck. That's what we got, so it's not a viable investment.
Yeah.
Any,
This is time for Tammy to make your motion.
yeah, well, that's one big one. Anybody got anything else?
Nope, but I'll make that motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Been moved by Councilwoman Hardkey, second by Councilman Nordine, that we adjourn this meeting, budget session. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, both say.
26.
7:26.
Attorney.
Good job, guys.